Hello everyone, my name is Rajendra and I am a real estate professional in the Fraser Valley region in BC. I have been posting content on various social media platforms for a few months now, but the length of those videos and the information that I provide on those platforms was very brief, so I decided to open a YouTube channel and put some longer videos so I can cover more content and in much detail that I cannot do on other media platforms. I mean, we can do, but it's easier to do it on YouTube. So that's the reason I started this channel. So in today's video, first of all, I'll give you some market update, like what's happening in the Fraser Valley region housing market, what happened. I'll mostly cover up the month of August that just passed. What happened, basically, what was the condition of the housing market in last month based on some statistics. We'll discuss that, and after that I'm going to address a very common question that most people these days ask, and the question is the housing market going to crash in near future in 2022 or maybe by the end of 2021? So I'll try to explain my point of view, and I want you guys to give some feedback if you want. Let me know at the end in the comments that if you agree with my views or you have a different views, or because everybody might have their own point of view, and you might have some information that I may not have. So yeah, a healthy input is always good. So first of all, I would like to look at the number of total sales last year. Now this data is very surprising. There are two ways to look at this data. One is if you look at just the final numbers, okay, how many sales we did in last year and how many sales we did this year. If you look at that, that's not the complete picture. That's you'd be missing information on that, and that's not the right way to present this information, because as I said, if you look at those numbers, last year the number of sales of all kind of properties, the residential properties, was 11,087, and this year it's 20,122. So if we look at the sales, you can say, okay, yeah, the sales are almost double this year. But on the other side, if we look at how many properties were available in the market last year, that was, if we compare what percentage of the total available properties got sold, then the numbers are even, the percentage is even higher in that way. In 2020, last year, there were around 21,000 listings, total properties available in the market, and out of that properties, 11,000 got sold. So if we look at the percentage, it's close to 50%. I'm not going on the exact numbers, just rough estimates. So out of 21,000, 11,000 got sold, little less than 50%. But on the other side, if we look at this year, out of 27,000, roughly approximately 27,000 listings, 20,000 got sold. So if we compare that, that's close to 60%. So as compared to 50% last year, this year it's it's over 60%, actually 65 to between 65 to 70%. So the percentage wise, the number of sales got increased a lot, which is healthy, good for the market, for most people. So that was just a overview of market update, like what's happening. So the sales are, the number of sales are increasing from last year, and the percentage of active listing versus the sales is also going up. So the market is heading towards upward direction, that we can conclude from this data. Now we come to the second part of the video, where I said I'll discuss about the question that people usually ask, and that is the housing market going to crash anytime soon? People can give their own views and can say anything. It's like everybody has the right to express their opinion. But in this video, I'll try to discuss, and I'll try to base my my logic based on the facts, like what the fact says, and according to that we'll figure out if that's going to happen or not. I mean, I'm not an expert. I can't say that I can predict the future and I can tell you whether it's going to crash or not. I can just present you the facts, and then it's up to you. You can decide based on that. I mean, if you think my facts are reliable and the logic that I'm using is good, then you can base your opinion on that. Otherwise, I mean, you're free to, think otherwise. That's okay. First of all, I would like to clear that I'll base my analysis on three main factors that I think are, the biggest contributors in predicting if the market is going to crash or it's going, even to even further height. So the first point I want to discuss is based on the economic standpoint. Okay, so I'll explain like all three things that I want to base my facts on. So one is based on economic point of view. Second is the financial perspective, which is because we know that housing rates are affected by the rate of interest. So if the rate of interest goes up, the housing prices goes down, or they at least stabilize. And if the rate of interest is very low, then the markets keep on going up in upward direction. So we'll look at that perspective as well. And then the third one is people's sentiment. That I mean, some people might disagree with me, but this people's sentiment and overall sentiment in general affects the housing prices a lot. Sometimes one area becomes so desirable, and it becomes, for some people, it becomes a status symbol to live in that specific area. So that affects the housing prices in that particular region, or sometimes it might affect a bigger area like the Fraser Valley. It's almost like the whole southern BC, you can say. So from economic standpoint, if we look at what's the economic formula for deciding anything's price, it's basically all demand and supply. So if demand increases, the prices go up. If the supply goes up and it increases more than the demand, then the prices goes down and it crash. So if we look in the near future, like what's going to happen in the Fraser Valley region, do we think that the supply would increase than what the demand is, or what the demand would be? Let's look at some numbers. I got some statistical data there. These are the actual numbers. So if we look at the already existing population in the Fraser Valley region, because in Canada, I mean, the immigration happens mainly in two major areas. One is the East Coast, that is in Ontario, Montreal region, and one is in the BC. Like that's where most people who comes to Canada, who immigrate to Canada, that's where they settle. In most cases, I mean, not everybody, but that's the majority of two major areas where people would like to settle down. So in BC, if we look at the number of immigrants that comes in every year, that for last 10 years, the average is close little above 40,000 per year. So that many new people immigrate to BC. Now this is the numbers for BC, not for the whole Canada. So in BC, I mean, that's how many people comes in every year. So if we look at the number of new housing that comes in the market, do we think that we get new homes for 40,000 people every year? We might hit that target, but it's not exceeding the demand. So as long as the supply stays below the demand, the prices are gonna go up. I mean, that's pretty simple logic and very simple formula that everybody know. So I don't see the supply of housing going above the demand more than the demand anytime soon. So based on that perspective, based on economic standpoint of view and the demand and supply rule, I don't think the prices are gonna stop increasing or going down. I mean, I don't see that happening. You might think the other way. I mean, that's totally fine. If you have any other logic behind that, that's okay. The second is the financial perspective. I mean, the interest rate and how much loan people get. So I haven't seen anything from Bank of Canada or from the banks, the other financial institute, about making it more strict to get the mortgage or increasing the rate of interest drastically. So as long as the interest rate stays almost the same, or even if they are increasing a little bit, then it's not gonna affect too much. The property prices are not gonna go down based on that. And because of the pandemic, I don't see the interest rates going up too much very soon. So it's safe in that based on that, it's safe to own a property if somebody is already owning it. So I don't see too many people selling their properties, just like what happened in 2008-9 recession. So I don't see anything happening like that in the near future. I mean, if there's something comes totally out of blue, then nobody knows. But as long as we can see the future, that's not gonna happen. So based on that criteria, the housing prices won't decline or won't stabilize at the point where they are. And the third thing is people's sentiment. So like sometimes what happens is, even if the supply is not too much, so demand is more in some particular region, the interest rates are all good and the properties are okay, but still the prices goes down because nobody want to buy a property in that particular region. So that one area sometimes becomes very undesirable for people to live, and so because of that the property prices goes down. In some cases, very rare, but it happens. In this case, if we look at the Fraser Valley region, this is kind of the most desired area. After Vancouver, the main Vancouver area, the mainland, Fraser Valley region is the second most desired area for the people to live in. So I don't see there's no indication that people would stop moving into this region and the property prices go down. That's not gonna happen anytime soon. So based on that criteria, again, the prices are very unlikely to go down. So that's the three things that I could think of based on what I can predict. Predict the prices, like in which way they can go. But again, that's just my views. Your views could be different. You might have some other data or some other points that you would know that I might not be aware of. It's totally fine. If you have anything else to add up, you can just put that in comments, and maybe in my next video I'll try to cover some of the feedback and comments that you guys would provide, and then I'll bring some another new topic and we'll talk about that. So until that next video, everyone have a good day, and we'll see you in next video. Goodbye.